Spirit work is discipline. Spirit leaders live a disciplined life from sunup to sundown. Lesser mystery students don't have to go through all of the intensity. You don't have to go through the scary elements or the scary parts of even modern initiation. And as I've described before, in this time of ascension, fixing the grid is going to involve small groups of people. Only select few have to go through the real difficult stuff. And discipline is the key. That's all there is to it. Discipline from sunup to sundown. One of the hardest things when you're waking up to your abilities is realizing what you have to let go. I recently deleted one of the final paranormal clips that I was clinging onto for some reason, and I had to face myself and realize that, hey, look, when you took this particular piece of footage, I hadn't completed initiation, and I had to be real honest with myself. Because I believe that this one clip that I don't have any clips out now except for a couple light sphere clips, because that's a common non-scary phenomenon that happens. But I had this, just to make a long story short, about almost 4 years ago, during one of my extreme contact, I call it extreme holographic mode, I was led to a certain spot, went into a total trance. Don't remember how I don't remember walking to this spot or leaving this spot, what happened before or what happened after. Those are the common traits of someone who leaves linear time and enters into a non-time. All right, this is complex. It's like a partial. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I just recently watched this movie, Midnight Special, Jeff Nichols movie with Michael Shannon. I'd like to Take Shelter. I saw that a couple years ago, and I just watched this, and it's about this dad trying to get his kid off to be picked up. He arranges a spot within a telluric geometric shape to be picked up by, in this case, it would be like extraterrestrials. I really like this guy's movies. I've only seen 2 of them, and what that movie got right was something that was startling. And I think this happens with art. A lot of times guides will put something in a writer's head, like especially someone like this Nichols guy who made a real positive movie. It's very minimal theatrics. There's a dome. Like when this kid meets up either with these entities or has to be enhanced somehow, a dome covers this geographical region he's around. Now, the difference between that movie sci-fi stuff and reality is that the dome, for people that are having real angelic contact, can only be observed holographically by the person standing in a certain small region and someone else within that region. Like someone could be standing outside of it looking in and see nothing. Everything disappears. The movie just had a giant dome where a supernatural occurrence happens inside, and anyone can see it within that radius, depending on how you're looking at it. But still, even though they didn't get that, because I've never heard anybody talk about real contact. All I see is fake contact, flashing lights, spinning discs, multicolored. I have to go into fiction to find examples of real contact, because it just doesn't exist. We're so saturated with fake contact, and contact means, I just can keep it simple. Part of my argument is contact is body. We're supposed to be having, there's certain people that are supposed to be having contact with bodiless 6, even 7D entities. That's it. So we'll just use the term angelic. One more thing about this movie I do want to bring up, Midnight Special. At the end, when they're standing underneath this dome, the entities appear not from in front of them, but from behind their visual field in balls of light that are fluttering, kind of have form, but they're moving around as balls of light. They're shocking. I don't want to even if I want to say the term disclosure in that movie, but I'm going to get off that topic for a minute and go back to discipline. Okay, discipline means you're constantly trying to calibrate yourself in a way that is military-like. And getting rid of that footage. I wanted to get back to that. Yeah, so I had this amazing footage. I believe that it's some of the best non-sky-based light phenomenon footage ever captured. I mean, and just another reason why the AI nightmare is so scary is it's timed perfectly for this cycle, this 25,000 year cycle, because the DS knows the general public will be capturing phenomenon like never before, and they want to make sure that if someone releases it, like I did a couple years ago and have since erased it, that automatically, mathematically, probably 80% of the people that see it are going to think it's AI generated. This is why this is timed out like this. There's something that's about to happen, and it's been predicted for a long time, and it ties in with the singularity. This has all been pre-planned, and so I erased. Well, first of all, this footage was I went to this spot in a trance, and I picked up a night vision video camera and just hit record, and I was basically made to do this, and I'm filming. I don't even remember what I filmed. It was like a couple days later I looked at the footage, and what happened was something amazing. I have the clearest version of this. It's never going to be released again because, again, I wasn't through initiation, and I can't prove, even though I didn't have any negative feelings, I can't prove that I was seeing positive light. Because as, what they teach you in anthroposophical or theosophical studies, and I'm big into that, is that you have to learn how to pull the positive light out of the light. That goes more than just meaning light as an illumination. But you have to know when you're being fooled. And how do you know if you're being fooled? You have to put yourself into service. And when I filmed that, I hadn't yet put myself into service. I hadn't done a year's worth of hospice volunteer work yet. I hadn't done any volunteer work yet. So I had to man up, discipline myself, and delete part 1 and part 2. There's 2 parts. The most amazing footage ever. It probably had 70 views. I had to ask myself, I'm sitting here telling people you don't pay for medium work. You don't go to haunted houses. You don't try to scare yourself. You don't seek pleasure in going into dark areas and trying to freak yourself out. And most importantly, you don't ever, I had just mentioned this, but you never pay for spiritual work. This is something that's done for free. And that's hard. That's hard for a medium, like to say they were to contact me and say, hey, I want to go through your psychological test and see if I can be a mystery student. The first thing I would say is I need a year's worth of you not charging anybody for medium work. And I need to see proof that the only time you show this medium work is for a hospice patient or someone who's engaging in mystery teachings. And you have to be able to show proof. And I would have to see how they can show proof of being in contact with an entity. When you're locked in and your spirit organ is unwound, and even people within the lesser mysteries can do variations of this. There's no ritual. There's no necessary and sufficient conditions, really. You're locked in. You can do it. Well, I'm already at 10 minutes.